When an individual decides to pursue their dream and open a business, the first and most difficult decision that has to be made is the form of ownership they choose to embrace. The three general ownership options are the following: a sole proprietorship, which is a business owned by one individual; a partnership, which is a business owned by two or more individuals; or a corporation, which is completely different than the other two forms of ownership because it is a separate legal entity in itself and is owned by shareholders who have invested money into the business. In order to choose which ownership type to pick, the entrepreneur must understand the advantages and disadvantages for each type. Being the sole owner of a business means having complete control over all decisions that will impact the company. Complete control is complementary to all the other advantages. These advantages are having the final say, making the business simple to run, and immense amounts of personal satisfaction. Having the final say means making decisions that are most beneficial for yourself and the success of the business. Having complete control results in a simple to run business because decisions can be made quickly, as there is no conflict because you are the only individual in charge of making these decisions. Personal satisfaction comes when independent decision making leads to success. When the owner experiences the effects of success, they will continue to work hard to keep it. The success of the company is dependent on the owner and can be a gratifying experience. To be successful in a sole proprietorship, the owner must put in lots of effort and long hours. When success is not accomplished, it can be extremely disappointing. Owners may also experience frustration when trying to accomplish tasks that require specific disciplinary skills that they do not possess. Relying on one's personal skills is a disadvantage to sole proprietorships. Unlimited liability is another main disadvantage to sole ownership. If the business were to encounter debt or a lawsuit, the owner would be fully responsible. Consequences accumulated by the company are suffered by the owner. Finally, if anything were to happen to the owner, the business would end. Therefore, the final disadvantage is lack of continuity. When the owner is gone, the business is gone. Like sole proprietorships, owners also have high amounts of motivation and personal satisfaction in a partnership. The effort and time put into a business determine its success, and double the amount of time and effort is going in when there are multiple partners. Therefore, they may see double the success. Owners may be even more motivated in a partnership because there are other individuals relying on them to put in work. The success of the business now affects multiple people's lives. Another advantage to partnerships is that there is a greater variety of managerial skills available. What one owner does not possess, the other may flourish with. Skills may complement each other and make particular tasks easier to accomplish. More owners means more opinions and interests. Therefore, conflict is likely to occur in all partnerships. Often owners fight when decisions result in different outcomes. One owner may believe that the expenses of the business need to be decreased, whereas the other views expenses as necessary to pave the way to success. Conflict may also occur when the division of profit is discussed. However, this should be a debate that happens before the business is started, and the division can be agreed upon with a legal contract included. Similar to sole proprietorships, partnerships also have the disadvantage of unlimited liability. One partner must bear unlimited liability, where the others can be limited. This decision is also a conflict that should be addressed before starting the business, binding the agreement with a legal contract. Being a separate legal entity from the owner is a huge advantage to incorporating, as it makes it the only ownership type where no one has to carry the burden of unlimited liability except the company itself. Owners have limited liability. This means that owners will only have to pay the amount initially invested. The rest of the money owed is to be paid by the company. If the company suffers bankruptcy, the owner will not be as personally affected. However, if the company is successful, another advantage of corporations can be seen. This advantage is perpetuity, and the company can last even after the founder or other owners pass away. A final advantage of corporations is specialized management. Since shareholders are the owners and often do not work within the company, they can hire individuals with specific skills to take on certain positions. If the individual is not successful, the business will let them go and try hiring a new candidate. As well, if any small tasks appear, the owner can contract the job out for cheap to save money, but still get the specialized skills needed to get the work done. When founding a corporation, the decisions on the company are out of your control, as there are now many individuals with the power to make decisions. Therefore, a disadvantage of corporations is lack of control. Although the success of the company is important, there is now a barrier created because of this lack of control, reducing personal investment. This differs a corporation from the other two forms of business ownership because corporations are impersonal. Another disadvantage is double taxation. Since the corporation is its own legal entity, it must pay its own taxes. All owners must separately pay these taxes too. This adds to the costs of running a corporation. Continuing to speak about money, corporations are very expensive to start and to maintain. The startup includes paying a lawyer to properly complete the paperwork necessary to incorporate, as well as paying other filing fees. They are expensive to maintain because every year filing fees will continue to be necessary to keep corporate status, as well as income taxes and other government fees that need to be paid. Like partnership, conflict can still occur in corporations. Many individuals are often shareholders, and their interests will differ from one another based on their expectations of the company. One shareholder could primarily be interested in profit. Another's main interest may be employee satisfaction, while another shareholder is interested in the company's impact on the environment. These are all completely different interests. Decision-making is a longer process in corporations as it is attempted to create a solution that will satisfy the needs of as many shareholders possible to keep them invested in the company. Deciding what type of ownership best fits the entrepreneur's interests can be a difficult decision. Options include a sole proprietorship, a partnership, or a corporation. When considering formation, it is important not to make a decision on expectations for the future. If the entrepreneur anticipates the company to last forever, starting a corporation sounds like the right choice. However, startup fees may be too high and the entrepreneur will have to choose a sole proprietorship. Many factors play a role in the decision, but choice of formation is not usually permanent. Ben & Jerry's started as a small partnership, running an ice cream shop out of their hometown. And after experiencing success, they chose to incorporate. Apple started in a garage, and through expansion and success, they became a well-known corporation. It is important to make the decision based off timing and what is the best fit at that current point. Many corporations have started as one thing, became another, expanded, and have experienced both success and failure.